Hmm. Okay, so I'll read the shloka and translation. 4.3 सा एवयं मया ते अद्य योगा प्रोक्ता पुरातनः भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं हि एतत् उत्तमम्. So the chapter is Transcendental Knowledge, chapter 4, and the translation is that very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you because you are my dear devotee, because you are my devotee as well as my friend, and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of this science. And the next one is 4.4 Arjuna Ovacha Aparam Bhavato Janma Param Janma Vivasvataha Katham Etad Vijaniyam Tvam Adau Proktavan. Translation Arjuna said, the sun god Vivasvan is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed this science to him? Now, so Arjuna's question is very valid, um, because when Lord Krishna says that he had actually shared this science of Krishna consciousness, this Bhagavad Gita, to Vivaswan, the sun god, um, the ruler of that planet, empowered by Lord. So, and now Arjuna is asking this because in future any atheistic can also come up with this question. This is not true. This cannot be true because um, we know from his own um, from the scriptures that Arjuna and Krishna happen to be contemporary, like they're related, and Arjuna happened to take birth, um, in that particular yuga at that time, and so did Krishna. And how is it possible that we know that so and so he took birth, and and in the sun existed like millions of years back? How is it that he gave this discourse of Bhagavad Gita to him? So so that to avoid atheistic people refuting this or claiming that this is not true, this is false, this is all made up, he's asking this question because Arjuna is a devotee and friend, like Lord Krishna said. That is his qualification for to get this spiritual science of Bhagavad Gita. I think in the next shloka, 4.5, this will be cleared how this knowledge was imparted to Vivaswan, the sun god, and what happened. The link broke, the parampara system broke, and this knowledge was lost. So this knowledge actually happens to be given only through guru disciple succession, this parampara system, not otherwise. And here in 4.3, Lord Krishna mentioned that these two qualifications, that he's a friend and a devotee of Krishna, that is why he's revealing this rahasyam, this confidential knowledge. So let's see the detail. Prabhupada says that this is a very important verse of Bhagavad Gita. Um, Prabhupada tried his, Prabhupada made sure that although there were so many Bhagavad Gita translations available, this should be, but they were not as it is. They were tempered or changed or false, etc. Human faults or deliberate attempt to. So Prabhupada explained that this is how it is. This is as it is. Bhagavad Gita, no changes. So, in order to have these speculators who interpret Bhagavad Gita um, we cannot understand the truth as it is if it's the speculators or atheists translating this Bhagavad Gita, because it is a rahasya, mysterious. The qualification is only a devotee who is in intimate relationship with Krishna can understand this. Um, Now, Prabhupada says that Arjuna is not even a Vedantist, right? He is not even a great sannyasi, but yet it was revealed because he was meeting the qualification of being a friend and devotee, and that is what it is. So anybody who has this qualification, who is willing to be a devotee, who is a devotee, and worships Krishna with a favorable, loving attitude, friendly attitude, a loving attitude, then he is qualified to progress in this, and this confidential science, rahasyam, will be revealed to him. Um, so Krishna in many places, in other place in 7.25, he says, Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavritaha. I cannot be exposed to anyone. Yoga maya samavritaha. Therefore, those who are fools, the speculators, atheists, they consider Krishna as fictitious. Krishna is a human being. Krishna is a historical personality. Now, or sometimes they say there was no Krishna. This is all imaginary writing. So these people, if anybody reads their discourses, or then they will not understand the rahasyam, the secret, confidential message of Bhagavad Gita. Um, Krishna can be, as mentioned earlier, Krishna can be understood only through devotion and service. And this is what ISKCON or Krishna consciousness movement is all about. Devotional service, preaching this message of love of Godhead to everyone, whoever you come across. And Bhakt Prahlad Maharaj has he given the Navvida Bhakti, 9 steps um, of this bhakti process. If wants to become a bhakta, a devotee, it starts with Shravanam. You need to hear about Krishna from a realized soul, from a pure soul, from a guru or a practitioner um, who is in a parampara system. Then this message will be revealed, and you start with Shravanam, hearing, and there is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada, Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. So from Shravanam to the ninth, Atma Nivedanam, these are the various steps you can take. So this is so, but it all starts with hearing, and it is a Vedic process, which means it's Shruti. Vedas are known as Shruti. Um, And Smriti means literature which is written according to Vedic principle. So that is how it is. So in Vedas, there are 3 kinds of departmental study um, which explain about Bhagwan. So first thing is Sambandha. What is my relationship with God? Right? So this is stated in this Vedanta, and this is what Bhagavad Purana or Srimad Bhagavatam also reveals. Sambandha, there is one. Um, where it says in Vedanta, it says Janmadi Asya Yataha. The absolute truth is that from whom everything is generated. That is why he is absolute truth. Everything is part of him. He is the origin of everything. He is the origin of all origins. He is the first primeval Lord who existed. He doesn't take birth. All the incarnations are part of him, expansions of Lord Vishnu. So, so not only human beings, the animals, trees, birds, aquatics, the insects, everything, all living entities, as many forms are there. He is the he says Aham Bija Pradapita. I am the original father, the seed giving father. So this is what it is. Um, and so that is Sambandha. And then Abhideya. So execution of the duty. So execution of duty, the process. How do you serve the Supreme Lord? What is that process? The service. How do you serve? So that is Abhideya. So this bhakti yoga. So abhideya, the process abhideya, and prayojan is perfection. That is the goal of life. That is to achieve Krishna prema. That is to achieve perfection. That is um, going back to Godhead, never taking material birth in this material world. So that is the aim of life. So once you achieve this perfection in this service, in this process of bhakti yoga, abhideya, then perfection is prayojana, aim of life. That is the goal of life, going back to Godhead. So that is how it is. And all this is described in Bhagavad Gita. Um, the problem of life, Prabhupada says that the main problem of life is Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Doshan, Anudarshanam, 13.9. Um, so this repetition of birth, death, old age, and disease in this material world, we don't want this. This is all suffering. This is the real problem. This is what we need to take care. And whereas in material life, what we are doing is we're trying to enhance our spiritual sense gratification, pleasures of life, material pleasures of life, which will only elongate our existence in this material world and birth after birth, and will continue to perform pap and punya, and we continue to take material body and then go through this again birth, death, old age, and disease and suffer. So we don't want this. We need to solve this actual real problem of life, birth, death, old age, and disease. But the Prabhupada says nobody in university is actually teaching how to free ourselves from this real problem. But we are taking care of other problems which we say are the problems, but they are not the problems. They are just enhancing our sense gratification. um, we do that and then it leads to more problems, and then we try to solve those problems and then it leads to more problems, and this is how it is. For example, we have pollution from one fuel, and then it leads to problem, and then we try to solve this, we try to find another fuel, and then it leads to another problem, and this goes on. And for example, plastic, we have this problem of plastic. We think that it's a, or at least think it was a very good solution to our problems, but it leads to so many new problems and diseases which we cannot even think of. It's science is now finding out, plastic breaking in food particles in water and polluting everything. New kinds of diseases are coming up. So we need to solve these actual real problems. Um, and Prabhupada says that there are so many people in present time, they're coming up with new types of religion. And these are not religion. Religion means which is coming from the God. And he says, Krishna says that he comes here again, Yada Yada hi dharma se glanir bhavti bharata. Dharma se glani. Glani means when it is distorted. This religion is being distorted. When the so-called people who claim to be creating new religions or so-called religions, but this is not religion. This is man-made. So, but real religion is dharmam tu sakshat bhagvat pranitam. Srimad Bhagavatam 6:3-19. Religion means the codes and laws given by the Lord Himself, by the God. That is religion. So, so we need to abandon all these so-called nonsensical religions, and we need to become a devotee of Lord, a surrendered soul unto Lord, and that is real religion. If one does not know who is God, who He is, what is the relationship, he's not religious. Prabhupada says that any religion without the conception of God, without knowledge of God, without knowing the surrendering process is called, as per Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned, it is cheating religion. Dharma projitaha kaitavaha atra. The so-called religious system, which is cheating only, that kind of religion is completely thrown away, kicked out, because religion means to develop your dormant love of God and or to execute the laws of God. And Krishna says that Sarva Dharman Parityajamam Ekam Sharanam Raja. And how to achieve that? Krishna says that Mana Bhava Mad Bhakto Mad Yaji Mam Namaskuru in Bhagavad Gita 18.65. Um, Man Mana. So, for example, um, always think of me. So if you are saying Hare Krishna or thinking of Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna, you're remembering the Lord. This is the religion, and especially for this Kali Yuga, this is the Yuga Dharma, Hari Nam Sankirtana Yajna. So in every yuga there is sacrifice, and this yuga sacrifice is Hari Nam Sankirtana Yajna, congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. And Lord Himself says in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 17.21, Hare Nama Hare Nama Hare Nemeva Kevalam Kalau Nasti Eva Nasti Eva Nasti Eva Gater Anyatha. He has emphasized this three times. There is no other way but to chant the holy name of the Lord. Um, so human life is meant for finishing all these problems of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, and then go back home, back to Godhead. And that is the aim, that is the goal, to achieve Krishna Prema. When we achieve Krishna Prema, we are free from this suffering, this actual problem. Um, so that is the aim of life, not manufacturing new religions and enhancing our sense gratifications. We have to take these instructions of the Shastras. Um, so Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 2.14, अगमा अपायिनः अनित्यः तां तितिक्षस्व भारता मात्रा स्पर्शस्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णा sukha dukha daha. Your temporary problems are of so-called happiness and distress. These are agama payinah. They come and go just like the seasons of winter season and hot summer season. Extreme cold and extreme hot is painful, but they come and go. We should not be disturbed by the seasonal changes of happiness like that, happiness and distress. But should always progress, and we should be serious of solving this actual problem of life, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. That means taking to devotional life, spiritual life, Bhakti Yoga, and achieving some Sambandha Avideya Priyojana, actual goal of life. Um, we have relationship with the Lord. In that relationship we serve the Supreme Lord, who is Bhagwan, and we go as per the Bhakti Yoga process. And then when we executing this Bhakti Yoga process, when we achieve perfection, we achieve Krishna Prema. That perfection will enable that we never take birth in this material world. We'll be free of this birth, death, old age and disease, and we'll be in spiritual abode of Lord, in a spiritual life, and executing this spiritual seva to the Lord with our spiritual senses and spiritual body. Um, so there are three things which will exist: Bhakt, Bhagwan, and Bhakti. The devotee of the Lord, the servant, and the Bhagwan himself, and there is a service, and that is Bhakti. So these things are there eternally. So whether we know it or not, these things are there. Somebody, even if somebody doesn't take achieve perfection in this life, if he takes to this process, they will achieve one day in one life. They will achieve perfection, because in bhakti nothing is lost. Whatever you do is preserved, and you start your bhakti again from where you left it. So this is a great boon taking to bhakti yoga, and um, so um, this is actually a really great boon of bhakti yoga. Taking other yoga system, when you take birth again, you start again. So this is a guarantee with Lord says. Um, so Brahmaji also has glorified. If you hear this Brahma Samhita, he has glorified the Lord, and he has explained what he saw, Lord's abode, the Lord himself, and what the gopis and the residents of that abode were doing. So that is also instructions. So hearing those instructions, reading those, and Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing Katha, Hari Katha, and chanting these and executing service according to these scriptures, these will help us progress in devotional life and achieve the actual real aim of life. Um, so that is how it is. And here, in this shloka, what is important is the qualification is actually revealed, because Arjuna is a devotee of the Lord and a friend. That is why he will be eligible to understand this transcendental mystery of this science of Bhagavad Gita, of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, um, this science will remain confidential. It will not reveal its mystery or confidential truth. Even if somebody who is not a devotee of the Lord is anti-Lord, or is an atheist, he will, even if he reads Bhagavad Gita, he will not then get the confidential meaning of this truth. He will remain, unless somebody who is a bhakta, he has kripa on him, and he leaves this unfavorable attitude and has faith in the Lord, only then he can progress. So because Arjun is already a friend and a devotee, he has this loving favorable attitude, this science will be revealed to him. And and the other thing was this uh, question by Arjuna, that who the sun god, being millions of years back, and you taking birth only 100 years back, and so like that, you and me, same time. How is it that you are saying you gave this knowledge? Um, so, although this will be revealed in the next shloka, King Vivaswan, and how the disciplic succession broke, and that why this the science of Krishna consciousness was revealed to him, but it was lost. So, this parampara system has to be there. It has to be nurtured, and one has to follow the rules as per the acharyas and instructions of the guru, and serve in favorable attitude. Then you can carry forward this parampara system and share the science as it is. If you change this, if you are not able to share the science of Krishna consciousness as it is, you tamper with it, then it's a big flaw. Then it's not abiding by the parampara system. So message has to be delivered as it is, and this is very crucial. So thank you, Prabhuji Mataji. Thank you for joining. And if you have any question, please ask before we log off. Hare Krishna.